Hey folks, this is your man Sean back again with the second episode of Ask AssetIntel, your monthly video series where we bring in a team member to explain to you the details about our products, our work culture, team, and some more about AssetIntel. Well, this month we have our lead data scientist Ehsan with us. He's going to help you understand the tech and the innovations that go behind two of our major products, emergencyX and manageX. Well, without further ado, let's go ahead and start off with Ehsan. Hey guys, so we are back with Ehsan. Hey Ehsan, how's it going?
Hi, Sean. It's going fine. How are you doing?
It's all good, it's all good. Awesome. So let's just jump into the questions real quick. So we generally start off with a little bit of a history tour with our team members. So Ehsan, could you briefly describe your journey with bridge management and data science? So what motivated you to specialize in the field, and how did you end up at AssetIntel?
So I started my PhD at the Ohio State University with a bachelor's degree in structural engineering and a master's degree in earthquake engineering. My PhD was focused on optimal lifecycle management of bridges and other infrastructure, and using advanced optimization methods, machine learning, and probabilistic methods. During this time, I had the privilege of working with the Ohio Department of Transportation for 3 years to develop a systematic bridge performance index and also a platform for optimal management of their bridges. And it was during this time that I realized the great potential in national bridge inspection data for data-driven solutions that we can use for optimal bridge management. Within this time, and also a year of a postdoctoral research experience at Rice University, I learned and also contributed to the field to mathematical and probabilistic methods for optimal infrastructure management that were also integrated with the risks of floods and earthquakes and other hazards. And then I had the opportunity to learn more about different aspects of state DOT's bridge management by working as a bridge management engineer at Virginia Department of Transportation for 2 years. And after this time, I had the honor of joining AssetIntel to develop national software programs related to the skills that I learned, optimal bridge management and real-time incident monitoring. And that's how I ended up at AssetIntel, and it's my 4th year at this great company.
Awesome, amazing. That was great. All right, cool. All right, Ehsan, thank you so much for that. Next question that we have for you. So as a leader in the research data science space, what are some of the key qualities and skills that you feel are essential for success, especially in the bridge management and emergency response field?
That's a good question. I believe this requires a blend of technical, analytical, and interpersonal skills. First, expertise in data analysis, predictive modeling, including AI, ML based techniques, and also optimization methods is essential. In this field, we heavily rely on data to predict bridge conditions, assess the risks, and perform optimization to identify best solutions. Another key skill that we require to be successful in this field is domain knowledge. An understanding of bridge infrastructure and their available databases, along with the impact of natural disasters on transportation infrastructure, allows us to develop practical and efficient software solution that targets the needs of our stakeholders. Also, on top of all these skills, communication and stakeholder management is essential too. We need to translate complex data insights into clear, actionable recommendation to diverse members with diverse background. In addition, we need to continuously work with our bridge owners and stakeholders to know their needs and improve upon our solutions. Because the ultimate goal is to provide stakeholders with software solution that facilitates their service for the community. These skills, in my experience, enable a data science leader to drive impactful and reliable solutions in this critical field.
Amazing. Amazing. Thanks so much for that, Ehsan. So, how do you ensure that the research and innovation that you lead in data science are not just cutting edge, but also practical and scalable in the real time bridge management or emergency response scenarios?
Yes, and that's a very key consideration when a team wants to develop a software and put a lot of effort on it. So one of our primary objective in developing is developing practical and actionable and scalable solutions. And to achieve this, first, I work closely with stakeholders, engineers, inspectors, and bridge management engineers to deeply understand their challenges and operational constraints, not just the constraints that they have with the software, but also they have in the field, and they want to see something helping them with their needs. This constant communication is not just limited to the time before the deployment of the software. I constantly communicate with them after deployment of the software to make sure it meets their needs and helps them with what they are looking for to see. And this also helps us improve the functionalities of the software and be at the top of the game that we can have. And second, we are proactive in learning. We use advanced technical and programming skills to produce efficient and scalable solutions. And this requires a strong background in the field and constant learning. And through this, we have made our optimal bridge management and emergency response software reliable and fast, even for large inventories.
Awesome. That sounded excellent. So I have a question for you. What has been the most rewarding, thing for you working on emergencyX?
Wow. So to give a little bit of a background and get to the answer to your question, is that one of the most prominent software solutions that we have is emergencyX. Its primary role is to provide real-time alerts about potential damage to bridges and culverts due to current and upcoming disasters, such as floods. So the most rewarding aspect of working on this software for me has been seeing its real benefits that it's providing for the society. For example, it has assisted the state of Arkansas in proactively and quickly responding to multiple major flood events that they had by identifying at-risk structures before and during the actual major flood. So this was the most rewarding outcome I could see from emergencyX. I believe regarding the potential future of this software, I can say I believe many state DOTs could take advantage of the values that emergencyX provides, especially with its advanced algorithms, credible resources that we carefully chose, and it is utilizing for real-time data, and minimal effort that it requires for bridge owners to configure the software and get reliable alerts. Besides, it's equipped with a user-friendly user interface for alerting and response to incidents, which makes it very convenient, especially during critical times of facing a major incident and disaster.
Right. That actually sounds very promising, and especially to the DOTs and the agencies who are handling, asset infrastructure. And follow-up question to that, I would say, how do you vision or envision, emergencyX's impact in the future of emergency response? I think you partially answered it to a little bit, but then if you want to elaborate anything else on that.
Well, I think with the great potentials that emergencyX has, it is going to be, it's going to save a lot of lives. It's going to save a lot of effort, time, and eventually cost for state DOTs when they are facing disasters and they need to handle the disaster event in an organized manner and spend a lot of resources to address the required repairs, inspections. So I would envision that emergencyX could benefit a lot of states in future. And even with the ongoing improvements that we are having on the software, integrating it with advanced statistical, machine learning, and AI methods, I think it's going to even get better and better over time, and provide very accurate alerts as state DOTs continue using this program. So these are the future that I envision for emergencyX.
Right. That's actually really great. I mean, all of us, I think, envision that emergencyX is going to help all the agencies in managing public infrastructure way better, especially in times of disaster like floods and earthquakes, as you mentioned. Great. There's only last question that we have for you. And this is generally something that we check back with most of our team members. So being at the forefront of research and data science, right? How do you feel to be a part of the AssetIntel team? And a follow-up question to that is like, what is that one thing that you love about the culture and something that drives you to that level of excellence that you are at right now about the team?
Sure. So answering the first part of your question, being at AssetIntel, I feel like I'm privileged to have the opportunity to develop national software for optimal bridge management and emergencyX, with which safety and serviceability to the public is much improved. So that's the best reward and the best feeling I could have. And this is the great motivation for me working at AssetIntel. Regarding the second part of your question, the culture that highlights to me at AssetIntel, innovation and utilizing advanced technology here at AssetIntel is highly valued. In addition, integrity, respect, and well-being are truly underscored. So this culture is the best motivation for me and kind of the best drive for me to flourish and be happy at AssetIntel.
Right. That sounds great, and I actually completely agree with Ehsan. I think I've mentioned it in detail in the previous episode with Human. By the way, if the audience wants to go ahead and check that, please go ahead and check the previous episode with Human, where we talk about the culture, more or less in the same lines and a lot more in detail. But definitely agree with Ehsan. It's, I would say, it's a great place to be in, and I think Ehsan also agrees with me on this. Anybody who's looking at it from outside, you guys would be immensely surprised at the awesomeness of the work culture and the work environment that we are adjusted in. So I think that's a very big positive motivation for all of us.
Yes, exactly.
Awesome. Well, that's all that we have for this episode. Thank you so much, Ehsan, for your time. It was a short one, but then I think we can get back Ehsan once again in some other episode where he talks a little bit more in detail about the models that he creates with respect to monitoring floods and how he basically makes emergencyX the awesome application that it is. So thanks for your time, Ehsan.
Sure, Sean. It was a pleasure, and thanks for your time.
Awesome. Thank you so much, man.
Have a good day.
Well, guys, that was it for this month. Stay tuned in for our next editions of Ask AssetIntel as our team members come in and answer more of your questions. Meanwhile, if you're interested to know more about AssetIntel, our journey, our tech innovations, and our team and work culture, check out the previous episode, the pilot episode with Human, our CEO. The link to it is just going to be somewhere down here. Meanwhile, if you're interested to know a little bit more about how you can transition seamlessly from NBI to SNBI, check out our playlist for SNBIX, which is somewhere going to be here. Stay tuned in, and as always, subscribe.